Today I'm going to give you guys some updates on the upcoming Bitefrost system from Fatshark because there's been some news in the last 24 or so hours, and I'm going to give you guys an overview of what that is and what the changes are, as well as give you an idea perhaps if it's worth looking at compared to the DJI system. So to explain this in a little bit more detail, when DJI announced the release of the digital FPV system with the goggles and the air unit, Fatshark put a hint out about the upcoming Bitefrost system they've been working on, and they released the image that you can see on the screen there, and it got everyone excited. However, to be fair to Fatshark, once they had a good play with the DJI digital FPV system, they openly stated how impressed they were with what DJI have done. Whilst in some ways Bitefrost was better, in other ways it was clear that it wasn't, and the idea was that they were going to go back to the drawing board a little bit and see what improvements they could make. Now, there's been a few weeks involved and they've done that, and Bitefrost is now about to enter the beta phase and it is going to be able to purchase. However, there has also been some changes around that as well in regards to it is no longer going to be an exclusive Fatshark product. Whilst they are going to be bundling it with some gear, it will be more of an open digital platform rather than a specific Fatshark one, and it is going to be available for other manufacturers to use as well. Now, the beta that they are releasing is coming out now and it will be available to purchase. Now, Fatshark themselves have put a few posts on this on RC groups and various places, and what they've said is the beta units will be available this week and they'll be sending it out. They're now happy that the performance is good enough for it to be a legitimate product. And as the system is still in beta, they don't recommend newcomers go for the initial release. They're more advising that seasoned pilots to be the early part of the testing on this one. They also go on to say a few other things, that it isn't going to be the Fatshark exclusive product. They want a hobby-friendly digital system to keep the industry innovating and things like that. And they do reiterate that their commitment to the industry is really more about goggles than it ever was the digital FPV system itself. Another interesting change is that it is going to be shipped with a specific run cam camera rather than a Fatshark labeled camera. Now, it isn't a standard analog camera. It does have some specific connections on it. However, again, this opens it up for other camera manufacturers to get on board, and you're going to have the ability to have the Bitefrost air unit, your choice of camera, and then your choice of ground system or air system to use with it as well. With regards to OSD, it works very similar to the DJI system in the sense it picks up the info from the flight controller and overlays that on top of the camera. And to do this, you'll need to use your UART connection, and Fatshark have said it's going to show your arm, disarm data, it's going to show RSSI, battery voltage, battery current, as well as having the flight timer as well. Now, because it is like the DJI system, that does mean it will not work with the Betaflight OSD or any integrated OSD on board your flight controller. With regards to DVR recording, the ground station does have an SD card slot and it will record the footage. However, the Bitefrost Air end does not as standard. Now, they have said that there will be a DVR accessory. However, that isn't available yet and it will be an add-on. So whilst the Bitefrost does come in a little bit lighter than the DJI, that could be offset once we see the DVR module added as well. Now, some other interesting tidbits that they've said is that it doesn't use the variable latency option like the DJI digital FPV system does, and it also doesn't have that focus mode where it actually moves all of the bitrate from the outside of the image and blurs that up down to the center. And it's going to be interesting to see how this behaves in extreme range compared to the DJI system. But Fatshark are openly saying they really do feel it is a very good product. It might not have quite the same impact that the DJI system has, but they're going to support it and they are putting their name behind it a little bit as well. But again, it isn't going to be exclusive to Fatshark now. Now, as I mentioned, that they are heading into beta with this, and interestingly, 1 or 2 users have managed to get their hands on it already, and a user called Buffy the Saint on RC Groups has actually posted some pictures up for us to see. Now, interestingly, the packaging is all there ready to go as well, and you can see in the package you get a number of parts to the system. You've got the battery and cables and the antennas, as you would expect. And then you've got the ground station, which is a monitor ground station, which allows you to see the image, but it does have a HDMI output as well. You can also see the 4 antenna connectors on the side too. And then you've got the 3 main components to the digital ear end. You've got the camera, as I've said, which is a specific RunCam model now. You've got this little control board, which is designed to be changing the channels and the settings on the ear end. Now, something I don't know is how much control you will have over the Bitefrost system from the ground unit compared to the ear unit. Whereas, for instance, on the DJI system, you can completely change everything on the goggles. I don't know if that's the case on the Fatshark. You don't have to completely keep that little board connected all of the time. You can disconnect it when you don't need it, but it's a bit like on some of the FPV cameras. If you wanted to go in the menu system, you have to attach that little board. Then you have the Bitefrost ear end unit itself, which has its various connections, as well as the antenna port on the other side. Looking on the ground station that Fatshark are going to be shipping, you can see that it's got USB-C, DC power in, and HDMI output as well. Then you have your SD card slot on the other side for DVR recording. On the bottom, you have a standard tripod mount, and it is nice how they have this Fatshark integrated battery on the back as well. Now, as I've said, it is entering beta, and it is going to be available for people to purchase and try out. Overall, I think it's an interesting move that Fatshark have given up the exclusivity on this one. They've clearly been working with these two companies quite closely. Personal feeling is they probably don't want to bet all of their eggs on this or bet the house on it. The fact that DJI have really made such a good system out the box, you know, the overall feedback from even some of the very hardest core FPV pilots who have given it an open chance to have a look at it, that they do like it, and it really is getting us to the first proper digital FPV product. Obviously, Fatshark have decided that rather than have an exclusivity on this, the digital FPV system themselves, it's not the specific market for them, and their market is goggles, and that's what they're going to continue to do in the future. So it is going to be available. I'd keep an eye on the Fatshark website. I haven't got any price details. I haven't got anything else. In the next couple of weeks, you will see this available. But again, your possibility, you're also going to see the Bitefrost system creep up from other manufacturers as well. Possibly someone like Skyzone might do something with their goggles, especially with their new OLED ones as well. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe. I hope it's been useful, and I will do another one again soon. Please do subscribe to the channel and check out all of the other videos we have available. They are also split into playlists to help you easily find the ones that are relevant to you. If you would like to support the channel, please check out the links that are in the description for each video. You will find the links for the products we've been talking about, and it's only by you guys purchasing via these links that allows us to keep making videos and buy products to talk about in the future. Please also check us out and follow us on all of the social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. We're beginning to build these accounts up, and whilst it is early days, I would appreciate it if you would like, share and follow us on these platforms. Finally, please also check out my website, www.madrc.com. Now, this is somewhere that we've been putting some of our blog posts and things like that over the last couple of years. So if you're interested in having a look, please do go check it out. That is it. Please do click that subscribe button. Thank you very much, and I will do another video again soon.